We're red. Nothing. We're on. All right. See if I can get this right first try. And it's us. And... Oh, son of a bitch. Music, I fucked it up. There was no music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. We're just sitting here. We'll kill the music. What music?
Should we do it a third time or just say, fuck it?
I
We're
think
starting.
I like mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting better. We'll get better. No, we're getting worse, but that's okay.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
My lightheadedness is gone.
Oh.
So I did it again, people. I didn't eat lunch. I drank my obligatory Friday tequila, and about an hour ago, I was too buzzed. Anyway.
He was 3 sheets to the wind. Is that what they say?
Maybe two and a half.
How much is 4 sheets?
I don't know. I don't think
What
it
is
was
a
quite
sheet?
to 3. A sheet?
Yeah. You were 1 sheet to the wind versus 2 sheets?
The sheet I slit, not the slitted sheet I sit. It's from the jerk. Anyway, it's November 14th.
15th.
15th?
God.
That's payday. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, money.
It's November 15th.
Yeah.
I'm Chris,
I'm Charlie.
and we are.
8-balling.
Yay.
Yes.
It feels kind of good.
It does, always.
I had a short week, so Friday got here quickly.
I had a regular-sized week, and Friday still came quickly, so it's okay with me.
Be careful, though. Don't want time to go too fast. You want it to go at the right pace.
Oh, I know. It's just flying by.
But weekends are good.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's the Michigan State game, so I'm sure you're all cranked up and kind of surprised you're not wearing your jersey.
I was. I can't wait. I just didn't want you guys to know how overloaded with emotion I was about the incipient
You understand
sporting event.
how important it is, right?
I know. I honestly, when the game goes poorly, it just ruins my whole fucking month. I can't even... One game, don't care. It's just my day's ruined. My life is ruined. Everything matters. And,
What are we going to do?
football's stupid.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's
My
important.
brother is driving. He had a long week. He's tired as shit. He's on his way.
That has
from
nothing to do with football.
from Chicago. No, he's going to the game with me tomorrow.
He could be going to a fucking strip club with you. It's the bonding that matters. The football game doesn't mean anything.
If there were no football game, he wouldn't be here.
Well, if there was no football, then you had to find something else. You still want to hang out.
I'm not sure it would happen.
Wow. Okay. Well, football. There we go. But we did discuss that.
The thing
on the
is, it's
football
a
show.
lifelong hobby.
Okay. There you go. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Okay. So here's something that I didn't tell you. I'm sneaking this in. And I heard this on a podcast. And this is really interesting. So it has to do with socialism, communism, all kinds of isms that aren't capitalism. So the only times in history when wealth leveling has taken place of any measurable significance: war, economic collapse, violent government overthrow, pandemic.
Is this news to anybody?
I just never really thought about it. But so the times it's happened, do we want any of those?
Catastrophe? No.
Right. Massive global
Cataclysmic? Yeah.
yes.
Or yeah. No, we
Right.
don't want that.
So the whole world gets sick. People are dropping like flies. All of a sudden, there's income equality.
Yeah. And if you do want that, you're evil.
Hitler decides to try to take over the fucking planet.
Income
equality.
Oh, income equality. Right. Correct. Yeah.
Global
so if you-
economic collapse. So Brazil, right? Back when it collapsed in, I forget when they had hyperinflation and all that shit. 40s, 50s, whatever. People starve. Income equality. Then what's number 4? War.
Pandemic.
Now that was what I started off with.
War.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We get the point.
Yeah. Who cares? So
Whatever.
Basically,
Just an anecdotal thing.
yeah. So basically, the point is, if you want income equality, you are a Nazi. Yeah. I think that's fair.
Something like that.
I don't think that's overstepping it too much.
No, just the point being, only way we've ever gotten there has not been good.
Well, you know what's funny is that's interesting. You can want it all you want. Like, it's whatever. You can want it as much as you want. Go crazy about wanting it. I don't care. It's just when you start to take action towards achieving it is when I have a problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it called when people insist, like, okay, so we need to try socialism again because they didn't do it right all those other times.
Mental retardation.
No. There's some term for wanting to try to do something again. It's not necessarily implementation of like a
Insanity.
no.
That is the definition of insanity.
It is not.
Trying
That's one that
something
drives me
over
crazy.
and over again.
You know that's not true, right?
Okay, what is it?
Insanity. It's like an inability to cognitively perceive the world in a realistic way.
Well, that's probably like the modern day,
No, that's the definition.
the state of being seriously mentally ill, madness, extreme foolishness or irrationality. See, I'm loving this thing already. That's it. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Congratulations, Chris.
Oh,
you
you
bested
really
me.
thought that wasn't even
People talk about
bested.
that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's one of those sayings that bugs the fucking shit out. It's not.
Why did we talk about this on the last show? We brought this up.
Because I didn't think of it. Because I'm old and I'm not creative.
No, that's just
What is it? What are the two things? I've lost creativity and
innovation.
innovation. My ability to innovate. I'm fucked. I was having a conversation with a guy at work today, and he brought somebody up who, and it's not necessarily real world for everybody, but he's 61. He started being a consultant to large corporations at the age of 30. Apparently, he had some huge success in his mid and late 20s and immediately went into consulting, and he lectures huge companies on how to improve and on and on and on. And he said that his data suggests that your most creative years are between the ages of 60 and 80.
Because you're like, fuck, I never tried any of this stuff. How do I get my old body to do it now?
Well, maybe there's some of that. But I think from like a cerebral standpoint, that's probably not true. But it's when you're 60, you got fuck you money if you've done it right.
well, that's my
So
point.
you'd
It's
otherwise
like,
retire. You're like, I don't give a fuck. Let's try this. I don't give a fuck. Let's try that. You don't care who you piss off. You're way more willing to take risk, especially with other people's money. Right? Because if you piss somebody off, you're like, oh, fuck it. I'll just go to my place in Florida.
or just die in 5 years and then I don't have to worry about this shit anymore. I burnt a bridge. Who cares?
Right,
I don't need to worry about bridges.
Right? Maybe he didn't share some things like the correlation between, like, disease and being
Right.
between 60
Oh,
and 80.
yeah. Dementia. How's that? Creativity. Yeah. Fun dementia, they call it, when you're like looking out at a snowstorm. You're like, it's sunny outside. Oh, it's beautiful.
Is
What
there such a
great
thing
day.
as fun dementia?
I hope so. I don't want to have
Oh, it's
bad
your
dementia.
invention?
Yeah. See, I'm creative.
That's good. Fun dementia. Yes, at least you have fun dementia.
Yeah. Well, that nurse just gave me a blowjob instead of she gave me a sponge bath and I diarrheaed all over her.
Okay.
That would be fun dementia.
I was going to head someplace a little more optimistic with it, but that works too.
Well, the point of fun dementia is that the reality is disappointing. So you have to be like making it fun, fake.
No, I get that part of
Yeah.
it, but I was going someplace other than diarrhea.
Oh, well, any form of excretion.
No, I was going someplace good.
Okay, go. Wait, so you're going from someplace that was awesome to like, oh, she gave me oatmeal.
I forget how you started it.
I said that nurse just gave me a blowjob when in reality she gave me a sponge bath and I shit on her because I can't control my bowel
I
movements.
don't remember where I was going, but it was a happy place.
Okay, well, it was happy anyway because you have fun dementia.
Fun dementia.
Let's trademark that.
Good times, noodle salad.
Good times, noodle salad. Just nobody in this car.
So shall I try the Elizabeth Warren thing?
Are you ballsy enough to do it on the show?
I think so.
Because if it's bad, it'll be awkward, and I'll be sitting here just like.
I thought about listing out the questions. You know what I'll do? I'll list out the questions, and you can read them because there were like 4 points. And if I miss all 4 points, it'll lose all the humor.
There you go.
So next show, I'll list out the questions, and I'll be Elizabeth Warren.
Okay, deal. I'm ready. Let's save it though as a surprise, and we can pretend like nothing's going on.
Sure.
Be like some third level humor.
Sure. My second favorite gal.
That's second level humor right there, folks. You're catching it.
There you go. Oh my gosh, I can't stand her. She's so insincere. You don't watch much cable network news, right? You
No, I
should
just
see her on
don't.
stage. Oh
I mean, I watch clips. You know, I think she's a fucking. Yeah, she's pick and choose your battles kind of a person now too. I've seen.
I'm seeing her be like, she's so fucking phony.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of them are. You see now that they're arguing about like the race distribution among nomination states.
No.
So they're like, it's not fair to like have us win in a fucking like a majority black female state, and then we have to go to an all white state and like shit like that. And
Shut up.
yeah, and I don't want to mischaracterize the.
Wait, who said this?
I want to say Julian Castro. That was racist. I apologize.
In fuck that. We're just having fun. And how was this framed, and what's the relevance?
It was something about like the order in which you go to the states.
And were they like?
Here we are. Iowa and New Hampshire should be replaced by more diverse states in the nomination race.
Hey, let's have some fun here, man.
Oh, exciting.
New toys.
Ooh.
Oh, it's too big.
It's okay. Never heard that before. So, former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro, a 2020 Democratic presidential contender, is arguing that Iowa and New Hampshire should lose their status as the respective first-in-the-nation caucus and primary states because their populations don't reflect the diversity of the Democratic primary. Now, this part right here is the worst part. I guess it makes sense that you'd want to do, like, you want it to be reflective of your party's like goals, but don't you also want it to be indicative of the nation? Like, not just our party. Like, we want to know if you're going to do well in a national race, not just like if it was Democrats against each other. So you're already kind of you're tying your hands behind your back. You don't want, like, you know what I'm saying? You want the candidate that's going to win the country, not the one who's going to win the Democrat. Like, am I making nonsense? I think that makes pretty much.
I was
makes
playing
good
with my
sense.
toy, to be perfectly honest, and I absorbed 50% of it. So give me a top level.
They're concerned that the populations of those states, Iowa and New Hampshire, don't reflect the diversity of the Democratic Party, right? Sorry, Julian Castro is concerned. And my point is that's retarded. You would want, as the Democratic Party, to pick states that are more indicative of the wealth or the race distribution of the whole country because you're in a national race. And I know it's not as simple as that when it comes down to the electoral votes and shit, but...
So they don't like Iowa because it's too white. Is that basically
Correct.
so?
And-
Did they not choose Iowa because Iowa was the state that most accurately represented the outcomes of the national election?
That's what I'm
isn't it?
saying. That's my point.
So who gives? You're saying who cares what race it is? It's the right state based on historical
It's a good
outcomes.
sample of, what's to come.
So you know what? He's almost suggesting,
No.
and it's less with geography and more with the semantics of how they run their show. Gerrymandering.
Well, yeah, but you're like, it's even worse than that because you're picking within.
It's the same thing. It's bad. It's the same thing, only different.
Yeah.
You're not doing geography.
Yeah.
You're manipulating
Right.
the semantics of or the mechanics of the.
Right. And I'm not saying as Julian Castro you want it to be like that. I'm saying as the Democratic Party you want to pick a candidate who's going to
Don't.
win. Yeah, right.
Right. I
So
get
he's
it.
gerrymandering for his own advantage when it's like you're fucking the party when we could have a good test run, but you're just trying to like bend the rules to make it work for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't you
Um,
agree? It's
No, you're right.
a
Yeah.
form of gerrymandering.
No, you're totally right. Yeah, no, that's a good way to describe it.
Bad, man. Bad.
Boo. How do you like that? There's
But it's only him. It's not the whole party.
I think, what's her name? Your favorite, Pocahontas, was, this talks about their races. All of them are white. Despite,
There we go. We can do it down on the bottom, too. Look at that.
so it's like, Joe Biden, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, they're all white despite racially diverse field of candidates and the party's commitment to elevating racial minorities. Some have pointed to the Democratic makeup in Iowa and New Hampshire, the primary electorate with more than 90% white in both states in 2016, as evidence that the deck is stacked against racial minorities seeking party's nomination. Now, I think that that's irrelevant when you're trying to gauge who's going to win the fucking election, not who's going to win, who's the best Democrat. Doesn't it work both ways? If you picked a bunch of racially like states that would be...
Well, if you look at who's still running, if you have less than 10% of your party's vote, all you're doing right now is diluting the whole process. So you obviously don't care about getting somebody, a Democrat, in my opinion. You don't necessarily care about getting a Democrat elected. You care about furthering yourself politically.
Well, all these people are...
Because why wouldn't you just say, I'm getting off the stage? Let's just get this down to, right now it should probably be, just based on the numbers, it should be Biden, Warren, Buttigieg, however you say it.
Buttigieg.
Geig, right?
Buttigieg, yeah. Buttigieg.
And Bernie. They're the top four.
Yeah.
Right? Get off my lawn.
Yeah, sure. But
and why wouldn't the rest drop out?
Because I think you have to be some kind of fucking profoundly narcissistic person to believe that you could even do this job. It's like, you have to be like, I'm the best person, and like, I believe that I'm the best, so I'm going to stay in the race.
Well, there's that. But if you're like...
I think that's all of it.
If you're, was it Kamala Harris? Is that her last name?
Yeah.
If she's down to like 7-8%, if that, whatever, I forget what the most recent numbers are, why are you still in there? Because you want airtime.
Yeah, but then there's also, you're burning your money, so there's a double...
What, they want to burn out their budget?
No, the opposite. You want to save, like, if you're going to lose anyway, don't you want to, like, that's sunk cost found. What the fuck is it?
Sunk cost fallacy?
Yeah, right. That's why I think that there's some delusion here that's like, I'm the best. These people need me, and I can do it. Like, there's something great that I love about George Washington.
Wait, can I interrupt you?
No.
So you still think they have a chance?
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
Maybe they do.
And maybe not. Maybe I don't know. I can't speak to their thought.
No, it's what
that's fallacious as well. But
no, I'm just asking if you think they have a chance.
I think that these people are all delusional in their self-worth. And I think that is indicative of someone who runs for president, regardless of whether or not they're...
I agree with that. I agree with that, period. But, yeah, so does that override, like, common sense?
It could, if you're not only do you have that narcissism going for you, and then you're like a diva, you're like, I want to fucking stay in the race because I can win. We're going to come back. And it's never happened. What, like Reagan one time? Like Reagan?
Who are divas?
Who are divas?
Kamala Harris, is she a diva?
Well, I feel like Elizabeth Warren is behind the scenes.
Really?
I know for a goddamn fact that Hillary Clinton is.
What's your definition of a diva?
Someone who's...
At least in this context.
Someone who intentionally... not intentionally. Someone who will cast aside a logical perspective because they want something.
Who's, in this case, female?
No, it can be male or female.
Oh, you'd put a guy as a diva?
Sure. Drama queen, whatever. Superstar, yeah. Not a drama queen. Divas, those are two different things.
Huh. Interesting.
Like, let me put it this way. George Washington, when they came to him, they're like, we want you to be the president. You know, he's like, oh my God, that's like, I don't know that I'm qualified for the job. I'm so humbled that you would even pick me. Yes, of course, I'll do it. And I won't take a salary. The only thing I ask is that you reimburse me for my expenses, of which I will keep track of with diligence. So he's like...
Much like the mantra of Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's still taking the taxpayers' money.
I'm so
just
humbled. No, it was the first part of it.
Oh, I'm so humbled. Yeah, yeah. Of course I won. Do you know
so
who I am?
I'm so humbled that you'd even want me. I don't even know what to say. Of course you want me. Anyway,
well, he was very magnanimous in his election speech, but no, GW original. He was OG G-Dub. that kind of mentality, you'll never see that from a president ever again. They're like, oh my God.
Is that how he was? Is that how he?
That's like, a matter of record, I believe.
Huh.
Yeah. And I was always like, this dude's fucking awesome. He's like, I'm not good enough for this job. And clearly he was awesome. I don't even know. I can't speak to how good of a president he was.
Right. Who knows? Right. It's so relative, and it's so relative to the times.
But regardless of, I always want to say irregardless, which is not a word. Regardless of his ability, I feel like that mentality is what you should have if you're going to be president. You're like,
I'm not worthy.
I'm a fucking servant to you guys. I'm doing this because, well, you're putting your faith in me. I'm not going to take a salary. I'm going to.
You're right. I mean, every time I've asked myself, and I've had conversations about why the fuck would you want to be president, it's ego.
Yeah.
That's my next step.
Right.
Because for me, the only other next step is just not sufficient to satisfy my humble brain.
Which is?
No, not me personally.
You're talking
Speaking third party.
I was like, and this is interesting. Go on.
No.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. No, yeah, why? Right. I mean, for Hillary, I get it. Obama was kind of curious, right? He went from community organizer to state senator. He wasn't even a U.S. senator, was he? He was just a state senator.
Yeah, from Illinois.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that guy, he had quite the trajectory.
Well, it's kind of like Warren. What was President Wilson's first name?
Woodrow
Wilson, yeah. Like, he was just like right place, right time kind of a thing. Like, not actually a product of his merit. And he was one of the worst, I think the worst president we've ever had. Horrible, fucking terrible person. And just like vapid guy.
What was he, beginning of the 20th century?
Yeah.
I don't know much. So remind me of a story, because if I ever knew, I forgot.
Well, he put one of his opponents literally in jail.
Just because he could?
You have to forgive me, audience. I am lacking on the details. But it's like, here's the best way I've heard it described. It's like if Hillary threw Bernie Sanders in jail and then had to wait until Trump got elected to, like, pardon him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty evil.
That's pretty fucked up. And it's like and throwing journalists in prison too. Shit like that.
All in the interest of getting elected?
Well, and keeping it, right? And just like, I kind of want to do what I want to do sort of thing. Bad press, publicity, optics.
I got to read about this. It sounds interesting.
And then just like a lack of ability in bad decision making. So, yeah. And there's war shit there too that he was, whatever. But enough said about Woody Wilson.
Woody.
Oh, Woody. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these candidates are delusional about what they're capable
right.
of.
So Kamala's toast. Who's the other woman?
Fried that pig. Oh, zing.
Oh, your favorite. What's her name from Hawaii?
Tulsi.
She's toast. Right?
Yeah. I mean, she's still in the.
But Beto, he's toast. I mean, none of these people are making it.
We're gonna take
Who else is
fucking
left?
guns.
Who else is left that's less than 10%? There's quite a few. There's another 3, 4, 5.
That guy Duvall, fucking whatever his name is, nobody. I don't even know.
The guy you're talking about. The gerrymandering guy.
Oh yeah, Julian Castro.
Yep, he's gone.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker's out.
Next to fall.
I kind of like Cory Booker.
I don't.
No.
At all.
At least in relative to
I want to
the
punch
rest
you in
of
the
them.
face. Dude, that's a felony. How many times did he say that same exact fucking speech verbatim minus a word? It's like, you're horrible. This is fake. Like, if you know sales at all, that's like, you found something that works, and it's not like it's true. It's just something that works. Dude, that's a felony, bro. And he used the same story to explain it the opposite ways both times. So it was like, violence is bad, and then it was like, violence is good. It was like, violence is bad, dude. That's a felony. The other way he explained it.
I forgot about this, and now I'm remembering.
Yeah. So two-facedness, duplicitousness. That's a point. A strike. A demerit.
American Indian.
Bop, 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 bop.
Two-Face. Not honest.
Clearly, because she's not even doesn't have two faces. Otherwise, she would be.
Hunter Biden. Your son's icky.
And there's that whole shit about like fire the fucking prosecutor that's investigating him, or you guys don't get the aid.
Did you hear that there are rumors that Hillary might throw her hat back in again?
Oh, I hope she does, because the Democratic Party will eat her alive. They fucking hate her. She's done.
I don't know, man.
Oh, really?
I don't know. She might be the most electable of the bunch.
No, she's insane.
I don't know if she's insane.
She keeps doing things over and over again, like trying to run for president. She's expecting the outcome to
definite
change.
right. This would be number 3. It's the definition.
No, I heard there was some clip, I forget who it was, but some guy, Democrat, they're like, if you had any words for, your old associate, what would you say? Go home and shut your mouth, is what he said.
Who said that?
Fucking, I forget, but it was good. And, God, I hate not knowing, because I feel like it's...
And it reasonably espoused the position of the entire Democrat Party? Or seemed to?
That's, like, he was so nonchalant with saying it, like, you wouldn't say that unless you expected there to not be blowback from your party, right?
That's a good point.
You'd be like, this is cool to say now, because she's a witch and horrible. And we told you! We told you that she was. We knew it.
And if you don't believe us, ask Vince Foster.
Yeah. He killed himself. How? He shot himself in the back of the head while he was screaming and running.
We brought this up last show.
Yeah, right. Ask Vince
I can't
Foster.
help it.
Yeah, that
I
guy's
can't help
next.
it.
He's going to get killed next. The dude who said, yeah, go home and shut your mouth. Hey, I'm in no ways
Dead.
contemplating
Niedermeyer
suicide.
dead.
Yeah. Guy's like, I don't fall downstairs ever. I've never once thought about committing suicide. If I turn up dead, it was her. Yeah.
Lo and behold, dead.
Dead. Still dead. And now everyone's like, what the fuck's going on?
I'm up.
Oh, yeah, Chris, are you woke?
I'm up.
I'm up.
Squirrel.
Warren, who appears to be the front runner in Iowa caucuses at the moment.
No, Iowa's a curious state. It is a curious state.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's been left behind. I don't know.
I don't really know much about it. I mean, corn, like, is that
All I know is they say is
Music Man?
it's the state that's most indicative of how the national election will turn out. I think, I'm not sure if you brought it up in this context, but is it in terms of, so it certainly can't be in terms of the entire demographic of the voting population. So he has a point.
Yeah. And it's also you're not running against a Republican. You're running against other Democrats.
Yeah, but they use it for both parties.
Right, but that's the next. Yeah, true. And then the next step is to pit them against each other, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he has some.
Where I was going with this, you brought this up, and I was playing with my toy. Does it correlate to popular vote or electoral college or both?
I don't know. We'd have to look at the historical for that, but we're not political scientists, folks.
You'd think electoral or both, because if it's not going to predict who's going to be president, who cares, right? You want the means to the end.
The number that I would want to see is just which way did Iowa go, and then who got in the chair. Fucking like either way on popular or electoral. It's just interesting to know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If it's really the benchmark, then you'd presume it's electoral.
Yeah. How many electoral votes does it have even?
Because it's way more, like you said, it's way more homogenous than any other state.
90%.
Not way more,
I
but
thought, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you ask?
How many electoral votes does it even have? Like 5 or 7 or something like that?
2. I don't know.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
2.
Way to go. Yeah, all right, so we're doing Rhode Island this time. Yeah.
And they caucus.
Yeah.
They get too much time on their hands.
Yeah, it's weird. We never did that in Michigan.
Well, they've probably harvested all the corn
You're like, oh, we're fucking
by the time
bored.
it's November.
Yeah. I was in a musical called Music Man Where
Is that where it
which
takes
take place
place?
in Iowa. Iowa.
And that starts with, and that rhymes with T, and that starts, or
With
that starts with T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
pool. Yeah.
Have you watched that?
I fucking was in it. I lived it. Yeah, I watched it like 7 or 8 times. It's,
Really?
It's horrible the third time through, but yeah.
You watched the movie or watched the play?
Well, I watched both in preparation for my participation in the play because I come prepared, Boy Scouts. But yeah, it gets boring as fuck the third time through. You're like, oh my God, how many times is she going to miss that note on the piano? I can't do it again. Stop it. Like, I know it's a training and it's part of the movie, but it drives me insane.
I saw most of it on cable once a long, long time ago.
It sets me off. There's something about that style of a show. It's like so fake. There's singing involved.
Broadway.
What the fuck? What is that? Ugh. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I go back and forth, more back than forth, on those types of Broadway things. Yeah, because they're more like art for the sake of art types of things.
Yeah, give me Kickstart My Heart all day. I do not want to watch music.
What's Kickstart My Heart?
Motley Crue.
Okay,
Shadow.
that's a Broadway show.
No, it's a song
Oh,
by Motley Crue. Who
Okay.
are you? What?
Smiley Crew, man.
Dr. Feelgood. Or that, whatever. I'm saying, give me that kind of art all day, any day. I don't want to watch like a song. What are you're watching this
Well, it's
happen?
interesting, right? It's interesting where you're telling a story, and then you break into song, and it becomes a relevant part of the story, and then you break out of the song, and you're back to normal.
It's not right.
And
There's
it's
not
like
we weren't just singing along and we
It's
knew
a
the
little-
words. Yeah.
it's like schizophrenia on stage.
Exactly. It drives me fucking nuts. And it always has. Like, I guess when I was a kid, my favorite thing was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But, I mean, don't judge me. I was 4. So,
I've seen one show. Well, I saw Les Miserables in a high school performance, and that was reasonably. I knew some of the kids, so I thought it was neat
Sure.
to see that.
yeah, but that's a whole other aspect.
But I saw a show called My One and Only with a guy named Tommy Tune, who was a big deal and still is, I think, a big deal in Broadway. But he was in it. You ever heard that name, Tommy Tune? Anyway, it was
Almost like a porn name.
I almost totally indicted myself there, but but I had a crazy hot girlfriend that I was really into. We went to a really nice dinner, got dressed up,
High fived at the end of the
got
night.
hammered before. Yes, right. The night definitely had a happy ending.
Wined and dined.
Yeah. Yeah, you know
Cool.
what?
That's the whole thing. That's another thing, though, to it. Then you're like trying to impress a girl. And it's like, I'll sit through the
Well,
bullshit.
we've been seeing each other,
Oh.
but we both got really dressed up, and it was fun.
Well, that's fun too. Like I went to see an opera, like not an opera, but a play at the Detroit Opera House, and I was like, yeah, you get dressed up and whatever, and it was just fucking Aladdin. But it was a cool, different aspect of it. It's like we're pretending to be fucking, like posh and high class.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. Yeah, we got dressed up, and it's
Dinner and a
certainly more
show.
fun to take off nice clothes than just average clothes.
I agree. There's something about that, which is why I think it's easier to
That's a beautiful
Score.
dress.
Yeah.
It's going to look great next
on
to
the
my
floor.
bed tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's gonna look great crumpled up into a ball on the ground.
Next to my bed tomorrow
Next
morning.
to my bed. Yeah. How do you like your eggs in the morning? No.
Anyway,
Nice to meet me. Date Mike.
what's that?
It's from The Office, where he's like, Michael is on a date and he doesn't know it, and then it was a setup,
He's
right?
the cute guy who ends up dating the one
No,
girl.
he's the fucking socially awkward moron boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they set him up with a girl, and then he doesn't know it, right? He just thinks it's like a hangout, like a social gathering, and then in the middle,
Is she a
Jim, the
pro?
handsome guy. What?
Is she a pro?
A pro what?
A professional? A hooker?
No. She's just
It's
like
a legitimate-
friend
okay.
setting up with a friend. Yeah. So, and then Jim in the middle of it, the handsome guy you're talking about, he goes, "So how's it going?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "With her, what's her name?" And he's like, what the? He's like, this is a date. So he runs out to his car, puts on like, I don't know what it's called, one of those like douchey hats backwards. And then he turns into like this, he dons this persona when he goes, hi, I'm Date Mike. Nice to meet me. And he's like, how do you like your eggs in the morning? Shit like that. It's just horrible. And he ruins the date, obviously.
It's Steve Carell, right?
He's the best. He's so funny. And it's almost like the same thing with the musical where he's too good at being awkward and you're like watching it in your house and you're like skin is crawling and you're like, oh,
That show did that to me. I couldn't watch that show
like,
much.
God, it's just fucking terrible. Why is it so funny? And you have to get over that, but yeah, it's weird.
I haven't.
It's teeth. You got to grit your teeth. You're like, fuck, why are you so weird?
Yeah.
And it's not real. It's
The
fake.
whole show, right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting show.
Yeah.
But backing up, opera.
Sorry.
Opera is a lot like a musical where it's just kind of a self-serving thing. Not my thing. I went to a ballet. And that was interesting because it was about dancing. You weren't mixing like drama into music. And operas are, so most operas are in Italian and some are in German. So you don't even, you need the program to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Unless you know the story.
Are they mostly in Italian?
I think so.
I know that was a big deal when they were like, I want to do a German opera. That guy, was it Bach? Johann Bach? Doesn't matter.
Well, did he write operas?
I think he did write one.
He was definitely a huge composer. But like,
Huge poser.
he was a composer.
I'm sorry.
I lost my train of thought.
Operas are weird.
The orchestra. Going to the
Oh,
orchestra
yeah.
is cool.
Yeah,
It's
but that's
just
about-
straight up music.
Well, that's the same thing as Motley Crue.
It's like
I can dig it.
Yeah, right. It is.
Now you're just there
It's
to
a
watch
rock
it.
concert.
Yeah.
It's just different instruments.
Yeah. That shit's cool. They do something called, there's like a style of play called channel surfing, where it's like the orchestra's playing a certain, God, and I used to be in band. I knew all this shit. I was such a nerd. It's like same tone, like rhythm is, it's like boom, rhythm, kind of melody, all this shit, and then like boom, like that, you switch to something else, completely different, and you go to something else, and something else, and you switch back, and you switch back,
That would be fun.
and it's really cool to see. Yeah, and I don't know, I like that. That's interesting. It's like cool. Show me some new shit. Don't just do the same old, same old.
You know what I really want to see?
Huh?
A bluegrass band, like total hillbilly, married up with a really, really, really good entire orchestra. How cool would that be?
The after party would be even more fun. It's
Depends which ones you paired off with.
like saying all together and same.
I know what you were saying.
Yes, good sir. Yes.
There's a party. Which one are you going to?
Yeah.
The party. Yeah, which one?
The what? Yeah, the one party. Yeah.
The one where they're drinking moonshine.
Yeah.
That party.
Yeah.
You looked at your watch.
No, I just for
Did
fun.
you get a text?
No. I didn't check my phone. Nope.
Charlie's on the prowl,
Womp womp womp.
potentially.
No. No, I'm not.
No. Never mind.
We'll take that out in post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No. Because fuck it. I just need to learn not to shit where I eat.
Wow. You just made it worse, man.
Who cares?
We just got to stay vague here for the protection of the innocent, the prowler. You don't even know what you are.
You know what's interesting about these wood carvings? Is that they're really cool.
As we shift gears.
Boom! Give me a segue. Fuck yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so orchestra, ballet, opera,
I would watch an opera.
theater, or what musicals, straight up play. Where's that fall?
Non-musical play, I'm good. That's the same thing as a movie, right? It's just whatever.
I don't
It's just people doing it, and I get that. Like it's like what the fuck is a movie before you had movies? It's a play.
Some of it's is Les Miserables? Is that musical? I don't remember.
Probably. It's probably why I never saw it.
But some of them are overacted, and I guess it depends.
Comedy play like that's hitting that score right there.
We had a comedy play my senior year. It was Barefoot in the Park, and I don't really remember what it was about, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was definitely entertaining. All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah, so it's different. Like it's just this,
Yeah.
it's the singing aspect that fucks with my head.
And you're right, because movies, there's all kinds of movies. There's artsy fartsy stupid movies.
There's even musical movies, which I
there's
still hate.
stupid hack and slash movies.
Yeah.
And everything in between. Okay. All right. So we like movies, and we consequently like plays. We like rock concerts, and we consequently like orchestra,
Considering that they're the same. Yeah.
and we don't like the rest of it.
I would say, I don't know. I've never been to an opera. I would try that out because it's more about song than it is about substance. Because you have to, it's like you're like, whatever.
That's fair, because I've never been to an opera either. But I just think it would be bizarre that you're watching something in a foreign language and you need either to have studied it and kind of memorized what happens to follow the story. But then are you sitting thinking, all right, what's this part? And then like trying to enjoy the music on a more visceral level too? Or it just seems weird to me.
See, I think the story is surface, and then the thing that really matters is the visceral music reaction. So you're like, I'm moved by this beautiful sound, but there's also a dude dressed up as a devil and someone who's a knight and all this dumb shit going on in the background.
I think the feedback I've gotten from people who like opera and the movie Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Remember where she like almost comes to tears?
Nope. Never saw it.
You didn't see Pretty Woman?
Probably did, but I just...
It's more important than football.
Wow. You're stepping on some toes there.
Sorry.
Not my toes. I don't give a fuck.
I love that movie.
I'll watch it.
It's
I'm
a
sure
good
I've seen
movie.
it. Give me a synopsis.
Julia Roberts is
A pretty woman.
a hooker in L.A.
Oh, no, I've never seen
Richard
that.
Gere's
Yeah.
a rich guy. He needs directions. She gets in. They wind up hanging out together for a week, falling in love, and it ends happily ever after.
You just ruined it. He doesn't kill her, and then there's an
Kind of get that.
investigation.
Actually, the original, I think it's a book, or it might be a Broadway show, but the original story, she's into drugs and it ends tragically.
I like tragedy.
And originally in the screenplay, that's the way the movie went. But then they got Julie Roberts and they got Richard Gere and they had this chemistry, and it was also happy that they're like, let's just end it happy. You know, I watched, I don't think I told you, I watched, did I tell you I watched American History X? Last weekend. Have you seen that?
No.
Ooh, you'd like it. It's Ed Norton and...
Humana Ed Norton.
Yeah, when I saw Ed Norton, did I tell you this? I saw Ed Norton on Rogan.
Oh, really?
And I got an appreciation for, a little bit more of an appreciation for maybe some actors, certainly him.
Yeah.
So he did American History X, and do you know what it's about? He is a white supremacist. He kills some guys. He goes to prison. He, and do you want me to spoil it at all?
Sure.
He befriends. He's hanging out with the skinhead crowd in prison,
Aryan
right? And they all
Brotherhood.
protect each other.
Yeah.
And then there's basically three populations: skinhead, white supremacist, Latino, and black. So he winds up with a job folding laundry with this kind of small, goofy, friendly, really nice black guy.
Yeah.
So they become kind of secret friends.
And he kills
on
him.
this weird level. No, and
So
he
fucked up.
kills him with a sheet.
How do you... Is it 3 sheets or 2 sheets?
I don't know. Who's the guy who committed suicide in New York?
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. God, Chris.
Yes, he did. He hung himself with a sheet.
Sure. Is hanging yourself with a sheet now using somebody else's hands to tie the knot?
Ligature. We don't know if it's from sheets or fingers.
Ligature.
Could be from sheets, right?
I think
a witch.
that's so
He's
funny.
a witch. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I digress. So part of the guy's problem was he got hung up on principle.
Yeah.
is a white guy in this white supremacist mantra. Goes to prison, and some of the Aryan guys, one guy in particular, is like doing drug deals with one of the Hispanic guys. And he's like, "What are we doing? Fucking doing business with them?" And he's like, "Shut up, dude. You're overstepping your bounds." So he disassociates himself with the white supremacist guys. So now he's got them to worry about, and he's sure that because he's a white guy on his own, and he's got like a swastika on his chest, and he went to prison for killing 2 black guys, he was sure that the brothers were going to get him. He had 6 months to go before he got out, and everybody left him alone. And he came to conclude that his little buddy in the laundry room that he didn't really ever do the math on in terms of who this guy might be affiliated was responsible for him making it.
Oh, wow.
So not only did he keep the brothers away from him, that there was an understanding that now he was protected by the brothers and he got out. So when he got out, he's no longer a white supremacist. He learned, like, not only are black guys people just like us, a fucking black guy saved my life. He got me out of there in one piece.
Yeah.
And so his little brother, in the meantime, his younger brother who wasn't in jail, was kind of following in his footsteps, and he wanted away from the whole thing. Realize that you don't affiliate with anybody. You just do the right thing. And it ends tragically.
What is that? The movie where the guy's like, "See this? It means not welcome."
That sounds...
And he curb stomps the black guy and then gets arrested.
He killed a black guy by curb stomping him, yeah.
Oh, God, that's so fucked up.
That was a rough scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that movie.
Jeez.
It was a good movie. I hated the way it ended, though, because I hate when they end movies tragedy for tragedy's sake, which is like art for art's sake. The whole movie was about kind of like hope,
Yeah.
And then it ended with no hope, where you just like, the movie ends and you're like, no, I wish I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, fuck. I was just going to say, before we even got into this, we're talking about tragedy. I like logical tragedy, where it's like, this is encompassing. It makes sense. And there's like kind of an exchange of value in the tragedy. But that's so rare that you hardly ever see it.
So you're feeling good about the movie, and it's 30 seconds from ending, and they just pull the carpet out from under your feet, and then you just feel like shit.
You're like, what the fuck? Like, don't roll credits, don't roll credits.
Right.
Fucking credits, you sons of bitches.
That's exactly how I felt. Like, you didn't need to do that. The end.
Is that the very end of the movie?
Yeah, they in the last 2 to 3 minutes of the movie, they just literally pull the rug from under your feet. And you're fucking laying there like, did it really have to end like that? It could have ended with hope, but it's fucking Hollywood, right? It's got to end. It's got to be artsy. You got to end this artsy, tragic ending to it anyway, whatever.
You ever seen the movie Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell?
No.
It has a good, logical, tragic ending.
Will Ferrell's in a drama, huh?
Yeah, it's good too. I know it doesn't really fit him, but
yeah, you never
it has
know.
that taste of comedy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it was done well and whatever. But
is that pretty recent?
Maybe like 2012, 2013.
So no, I was thinking the last
maybe?
like 3 years.
No,
4 years.
It's a good movie, and like it ends, it's wrapped up nicely, but there is definitely some tragic like shit that didn't have to happen, but it was like it's already in place, and it was for a good cause. So it's like, damn, that's a good ending. But even though this bad shit happens, whatever. So that was solid. You ever seen?
Yeah, and this one, the ending didn't add to the movie at all.
Fuck that noise. I don't need that.
Did I ever see?
The Prestige.
I don't think so.
It's like the movie about the magicians.
No.
It's got Wolverine and Christian Bale. What the hell's Wolverine's name? Logan? No, just kidding. The Australian guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Hugh
dude.
Jackman?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman. And yeah.
Huge Ackman.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's in it, and so is Christian Bale, and they play like two like young competing magicians. They're like the two main guys, and it's like old England kind of type shit. And Hugh Jackman ends up going to like. There's a whole secret thing I want to tell you 'cause it's actually a really, really good movie. But Hugh Jackman
What
ends
is
up. It's called The Prestige.
Okay.
You should watch it. There's like a big twist at the end, right? And I was dating this girl in high school, and we were watching it, and I was like, "We have to fucking. This movie's awesome." She's like, "I never seen it," and I was like, "She's like." I was probably halfway through the movie, and I'm like, she's not like so excited for her to realize the spin, and she goes, "Is this?" And I was like, "Fuck! How do you know that shit already? You
She
just
figured
ruined
it out?
Yeah, I'm like, you just ruined my fucking night by knowing it. I was like excited for her to get it, and then, God, I'm sitting there going, "What the fuck?" And I try to like play it off, like, "No, it's not what happens." Like, sure enough.
So did she luck
God.
into it, or was she a clever girl?
I think she was clever. Goddamn.
And you were pissed.
I was like, fuck, you just ruined it. And I had already known. So it was like, why did I care? It's just like, because it's going to be exciting. Like, it's going to be a twist. I was 17, so I was retarded, basically. But,
She
yeah.
broke your heart, didn't she?
No, I don't want to talk about it on air. But,
Okay.
yeah, interestingly enough, yeah, things have changed now. But,
Okay.
maybe betting for another team, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's a rumor, but
Interesting.
that's what I've heard. Yeah, so I took one for the team. You're welcome, team guys. I apologize, team ladies, but
It's all right.
yeah, yeah, it's a good movie. It's solid. It's got good plot to
What's
it.
it called?
The Prestige. And it's
Huh.
about like there's 3 parts to a magic trick. It's like the reveal, the pull, the reveal, and then like the Prestige. And I fucking got it wrong. It's wrong. Oh my god. So the
Okay.
ending is the Prestige, where you made something disappear and you brought it back. So it's like you have to do something ordinary, like kill a bird, and then the extraordinary part is bringing the bird back to life. So like that's the Prestige part of it.
Okay.
And so that's where the title comes from. But it's really interesting, and like Tesla, like not Elon Musk, you know, but like Tesla, Nikola Tesla is involved in it.
The electrician or whatever.
Yeah.
So-
Are you a scientist? Yeah, he's in it.
No, he's
And
an
he-
electrician.
And he plays a cool part. Yeah,
He
the
wired
guy who's
houses.
concerned with electricity. Yeah. Wired houses. Yeah. He's in it, and there's a cool part with that. So it's like all about, there's like science shit involved in it. And so Hugh Jackman goes like the science route, and the other guy goes like the more,
This sounds really
the
interesting.
less. I'll watch it with you. It's a solid movie. And then you're going to figure it out too, and I'll just be like, fuck, God, I fucking give up on this movie.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I watch the movie in the moment. I have no desire to try to get to the end because
I
you could
always do that.
because you could ruin the movie
Especially, but I do that especially when I'm with my brother. So it's like,
and you lose the movie. I watch.
no,
the
you're
movie.
right. Yeah. You're like, what's happening next? What's happening next?
Yeah, I don't do that.
But I usually figure it out, which is why it ruins it for me. So it's like, that was stupid.
Yeah, I don't try to do that. But you know what you're making me think of? Have you ever watched the show with Penn and Teller, where the guys try to fool them?
Yeah, and
You don't like it?
it's real magic. I don't really give a fuck. Sorry, real magic. I mean to say like it's.
Have you
just
ever
an
seen
act.
that show?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't. God, I feel like such a terrible person. Like people really find this stuff interesting, and I'm like,
I think it's
yeah,
kinda cool.
Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. People in life who do that are horrible. Like shit is interesting, and don't let someone else take that away from you, even if it's me.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, good. I just like people are like,
I like what I don't.
I like Dragon Ball Z. You know, it's like shit like that. Like fucking lame.
I don't care.
Okay, good. I don't want to like be
No.
a bad guy, a bully.
I'm an idiot because Charlie thinks it's stupid.
Well, not an idiot, but it's like internal
I'm
sadness.
exaggerating.
Yeah.
No.
You're like, oh, you don't like
No,
that?
it's neat. I like the show.
Yeah, cool. I never, whatever. It's interesting, I guess, but I'm like,
Well, what the reason I brought it up is it correlates to what you're talking about in that movie,
yeah,
where there are these steps to magic.
yeah, that's real.
And they talk about them, but they talk about them very cryptically because they don't want to like educate the whole world on how you get away with magic tricks.
So they're gonna let retards still have magic be magic, but
I
smart
don't
guys.
I
Oh.
don't figure out their cryptic language. I don't, and I'm not like concentrating on every word to try to figure it out. But they'll say we understood, and they'll use again cryptic language, and they say and they'll say to the guy, "Are we right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're right."
And then you'll get to a point where, well, what the fuck?
I mean,
just
I've only
started.
watched it maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8 times, so I can see where if it were on every night, I
Yeah.
could see myself getting tired of it.
Yeah.
But when I see it, once a month, I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That's interesting. I've heard some of the same phenomenon happen with salesmen, where it's like if you are like a practiced salesman and you're talking to another salesman, he'll be like, "Oh, that was good. I see what you're doing there." It's like, okay,
Really?
yeah, it's like a language. It's a whole thing. I've heard, but
Huh?
yeah,
Like a psychology thing? Like you start with this, and you get them to do this, and you get them to do this, and
it's a whole
and you're
Megillah.
and then you're going to close.
Yeah.
Really
Yep.
interesting.
There's a whole thing, and people you can tell also when never mind, but yeah,
And there's
stuff's
a
cool, I guess.
process, and there's a language, and it's kind of secretive.
And you can also tell when someone knows what's going on, they're trying to like defeat it. So it's like even
Really?
more interesting, yeah. Countermeasures.
Now I'm
yeah.
intrigued.
It's
Now
really,
I'm really,
really,
intrigued
really
because you're
interesting.
talking about real world stuff.
Really interesting part of human psychology. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I want to end the show right now and go start learning this. No, I don't. And
I was gonna say
my mind is like, how far in are we?
about an hour.
No, I want to learn about that. Huh. Huh. So there's definitely psychology, and it's across different sales disciplines. And
Oh yeah, fuck, guy. It's all different depending on what industry you're in, but yeah.
in terms of not minutia, but I'm not finding the right word.
Yeah, minutia. Yeah, verbiage.
Okay.
Which,
But
oh my God,
but the
verbiage is incorrect. The word is verbiage with a fucking I. Verbiage is wrong.
Are you
Sorry.
sure though? Often with the T is often.
I don't say often. I say verbiage and I say often. I mean, often. Sorry. Hang on. Bear with me. No dead air.
Bearing.
Burp, burp, burp.
Bearing.
Bearing.
Verbiage.
Fuck you. Urgh.
I didn't
God.
say. I just wanted to fact
Is
check.
it? Yeah. Yes, it is. Take that, America and all of Michigan who pronounces the word verbiage.
You know what I've been noticing lately is the way people say the word important.
How? What?
They say important, not important. And most people don't say the last T, important,
Yeah, that's a Michigan thing.
but they go important,
Yeah.
important,
It's important that you listen to me.
important.
Our language is becoming more slurred. Over time it's going to even be more, right?
You know what's
We'll just get
interesting?
more and more. What?
Just that the only thing vowels have to offer a word is sound. Consonants define the word. Vowels
Make it pronounceable.
will give it the sound.
Yeah.
Because if you take the vowels out of almost any word, you're going to know what it is.
What about?
But then how do you say it? How do you enunciate it?
That was our without a O or U. Her.
Right.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah. Vowels are weird. Language is weird. It makes me upset to think that somebody figured it out, but I don't know that that's true. So it's probably just like you're failing into it,
I was listening to NPR in the spring, and they were talking about, spoken word, and they got really into the semantics of how it allows you to communicate, to truly communicate and make people understand what you're trying to say. And I don't remember it well enough, but it was really cool the way they broke it down. It was like, on its face, if you heard the conversation, you'd be like master of the obvious. But when they gave like examples of how you would tell somebody where something is and or how to get there or find it, it was just, and I'm not going to do it justice, but it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
No, I totally know what you mean. That I was talking about this with my sister about like good ideas, you know, where it's like when you hear an idea that like it just make a good idea, you're like, yeah, duh, that makes sense. Like, what the fuck? Obviously, you know, like do it. The hardest part is like getting there. I'm like, you kind of following me?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it's
you know
like-
what you're making me think of, and this happened to me in the last week. I need to start writing these down, where I have this really good idea in my head, all of the kind of thought
You're like,
something
"Fuck,
through,
epiphany."
and then like somebody's doing it, and I'm like, I'm so fucking smart, right?
I invented, you know, we go to the game shame. Well, you know, at Heartland, they used to have a few years ago. They had these
It's a supermarket.
the carry. Yeah, it's a grocery store. The carry baskets.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, the handle.
They used to be like if this was your basket. Yeah, they closed like this, right?
Uh-huh.
And years ago,
Most still do.
I was like, why the fuck don't the handles go long ways and have like a curve for your leg? Because no one wants to hold a basket like this. It's uncomfortable, especially when there's shit
And
in
if
it.
you hold it like this, it's going to be more in your way.
No, more comfortable. Yeah, like that. It's sideways,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, you can't walk. So you want to have long ways handles with a little curve. And they have it. And like, as if by magic, one day it appears. And I'm like,
That makes a lot of sense.
Some fucker took my idea right out of my brain. And
Why?
I didn't get
Yeah,
credit
why
for
aren't
it.
they all like that?
Right, and it makes
There's
sense.
got to be a reason.
Probably money. I don't know.
No, but you hold it this way, maybe it's too tippy. If you have them this way, it's going to center because the mass is going to be more favorable. I don't know.
To me, it didn't matter because the ergonomics is what you want, especially if you're a fucking mom shopping. You know, you're trying to like, not like some huge guy be like, I need fucking pizza or something. You're like, I need pizza rolls and beer. You're like, don't care about the fucking ergonomics of your shopping.
Maybe you want it
cart.
ergonomically unfriendly, so you pick up a cart and buy more.
Exactly. So there's that part too.
Could be
Yeah.
conspiracy theory.
That might be the most rational explanation that I've ever heard. Make the little ones hard to use. Oh god, that's actually genius too. Fuck. They should go back to the old way.
Evil.
No, that's
fuckers.
just smart. That's sales.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to buy less shit? Okay, we're gonna make it harder for you.
You
And
have me so
annoying.
intrigued by this sales stuff.
We'll talk
So
about
intrigued. All right. Should we cut it? You got more?
it. We didn't have a explosive, fiery, controversial way to end it.
You've remedied that a couple of times in the past.
Yeah, no.
No, not tonight. Okay.
What if
No, I'm good. I got plenty of energy.
musicals are fucking stupid? How about that? Unless you love them and you perform in them. It's
And
fine.
art for art's sake, please save it.
It's like altruism for art. Go fuck yourself. And
Oh,
spend the world's resources on something more worth.
We were doing pretty
wow.
good on the swears tonight too.
I was not.
Oh well. So and it's strong.
Oh well.
So people, Charlie says,
Fuck you and good night.
good night.